like to bring us all up to speed for a little bit of inspiration?
We continued our travels. We found a banner waving in the snow winds, and upon investigation, were ambushed by a bunch of undead that were hanging around what was some sort of old ritual site, including some giant skeletons, some like specters with no faces who will frost blast you in the face. I think it was frost blast you in the face. It was a good time. Good time. Fought them off. Kept. I think we still continue. We took the time to still dig up the site and destroy the summoning goal. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Durham destroyed that with some erupting earth. And then we continued on and found ourselves not quite to our destination, but found ourselves in the company of some, I'm just going to use the phrase, Northmen. Really, lumberjacks is what they really were. And
Vikings.
with them was a half giant, a Goliath, and we convinced them to bring us back to town. They did not take very kindly to Laylis. Well, more specifically, did not take very kindly to Sar. There is apparently a dragon in the area whose name I did not write down.
The Pale Mover.
That's the one. Thank you.
That makes way more sense than the Pale Mower, which is what I have.
Yeah, and we camped out in their little village. I don't think this is we are in Scor. I don't think we're at Skuro yet, right? We're still not quite there.
You have arrived.
Oh, okay. It is
Yeah, we ended session with your arrival or early evening into Skjoro. But yeah, very very good recap. Go ahead and take some inspiration there, Ted. Just a note, the not that it matters, but just for clarity, the foresters did not escort you to Skuro because they still had trees to cut down. They just told you the direction you needed to head in to find the town.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, cool. We'll bring everyone to the town of Skjoro. Excellent. It is oops, early evening on the 6th of Alesis. You have weathered the cold and found yourselves on the outskirts of this small town village of Skuro here in the frozen north. As described, the village, is as it seems, as in the picture here. Though the main difference is on the left-hand side, there isn't a lake here, but there, as I mentioned last time we played, there is still kind of a dock or landing area of sorts where there are a variety of sleds there of different sizes, shapes, and makes. As you approach the village, you can hear the sound of various animals. You can see, you can hear the sound of dogs barking. There's people are either, it looks like people are like moving about kind of near the end of their day. And for a small village, there's a fair amount of activity going on here. You are just on the outskirts. What is it you guys would like to do?
Suppose we should try to find someone who has authority. We can approach and see if enough can understand us and ask to see somebody important.
Yep. We should probably also find a place to sleep.
Okay. Heading into the village, you see the first couple folk that take notice of you. Your group. Um, Eyes kind of wide as they slow down and just kind of watch your approach. Um, then the next set of people you see as you're making your way into town, you see someone just start like tapping the shoulder of the person next to them and getting their attention to get eyes on the new group that has entered town here. People are obviously like checking out, and you're hearing like whispers of the crowd here. Um, uh, there are a lot of smiles and like little waves and everything to you all. Um, but as soon as Basar's presence is seen, as he's, he's not little Basar anymore. He is a large creature. Um, as he's taking his steps in, leaving large muddy footprints, his three heads looking
But
around, tasting the air, sniffing. A lot of people like kind of begin to take a few steps back. There's a couple gasps of surprise. Some people just turn and like some people grab their like young children and are just like, nah, nope, I'm out of here. um, and as you are going in, you notice the you're not being surrounded by the crowd in that sense, but like about 30 feet behind you, the crowd is like uh, uh, connecting back into a circle and kind of moving a bit with you, curiosity and fear and whatnot along a lot of the faces here. You see several a group of about maybe 12 or so look like solid men begin coming into your direction, a couple from the sides, a couple from the front, and eventually form kind of like a wall to block any further progress. You're about roughly halfway into the village here at this point. There's just the quiet of the wind rushing through, the snow falling, the crackling of fires here and there, and uh, you see these people. They're not carrying any weapons in their hands or anything, but you see many of them are armed, be it various swords or small hunting knives, that sort of thing. Um, they all have pretty stern-looking faces as they watch over you all, but none of them speak.
I'd put like hands like invisibly into the air, like weapon hanging at my side.
They continue to watch, but you can see um, movement in the crowd as even more people are beginning to come out here. In total, you can see like roughly about like it's gotta be about maybe 120 people have like come out now in the intervening minutes here. So you've garnered yourselves quite a large crowd and attention, not uncommon to you at this point in your travels. But you can see movement in the crowd, people beginning to kind of just move and adjust. Someone seems to be coming through, and you hear a voice before they break through the wall of larger men, and uh, the voice speaks out and says, "What is all the commotion here?" And you see a kind of tall, scraggly looking fellow with uh, dark hair, wisps of gray running through it, kind of a light blackish, grayish, wispy beard as well. Um, he is not as tall nor as wide set as many of the other people here, but he has a certain confidence in his movements. And he steps forward, comes to about 6 feet or so from the group of you all. Ah, it seems we have visitors. Southerners, by the look.
Hi.
Ah, this is a rather strange assortment of folk. And I see you bring a dragon.
Spasar. I remember Prime. This is. I will just name everybody.
You see they nod and meet
And
your
that's
gaze.
Scritches. Wait, do we have
Oh.
Scritches?
I believe they're are they saber toothed still
yeah,
right
they're
now?
saber tooth.
Yeah. Oh, and a large cat. I am Ekolf, Elderman of Skjora. And what brings you strange folk to our town?
Well, we're gone.
We are passing through largely.
I see. I have to say, the presence of a dragon here is not very welcome.
All right, he's good. Ish.
He is, as far as we can tell, not an immediate threat to you or your people. Any more than my large cat is.
We don't plan on staying long either, so I hope it's okay.
Really, we are here because we're going beyond here, over to the hollow.
You see, whispers, murmurs throughout the crowd as people react to the mention of the Hollow. Well, if you are passing through to the Hollow, then your stay in the north will be very short indeed.
We come with more than that. We also have information for you and your people, uh, for your safety.
He kind of gestures with his arms to the left and right of him. We are very safe. At least,
Uh,
to use your words, in the immediate.
there is an army that is descending from the sky to the plain, and you may have seen there are now more undead creatures crawling from their graves than you maybe are used to. And in response to this, there is an army of undying creatures, not undead, that have been sent out to slay the undead with orders, naturally, to not harm living things that don't harm them. So, to warn you and your folks, as you are here, eventually that army should pass in this direction, but they are designed to aid you, us.
These are very strange tidings you bring.
These are very strange times. I will just point up to the sky.
They smile and nod. Indeed, there has been a greater nuisance as of late. It's hard living up here, but the cold both keeps and protects.
that still go for the great white worm?
That is a different matter altogether. For this is his land. We do our best to be unnoticed.
Oh.
At the edge of his hunting territory, as long as we do nothing to garner his attention, he mostly leaves us be.
Would it be in your people's best interest if he were no threat to you at all?
Sure. You seem to indicate perhaps that you might involve yourselves in that solution.
We would certainly try.
We have had success in slaying a dragon in the past, and we have amongst us a spirit of dragonkind who is in understanding that he has a responsibility to protect the people of this place.
Hmm.
Put a hand on uh, Layla's shoulders.
Small awkward wave. Hiya.
If we are to endeavor in this task, any assistance you give to us would improve our odds. What we do not have, though we may have some power, we do not have knowledge. This is this I like gesture just to the sky. This is not this this region is not our world. The rules are clearly different.
The rules in the north are different. That is certain. As to help in ridding ourselves and this land of the Pale Mover, there's little we can offer you for that. We are not so foolish enough to believe that we could stand against the worm. Now, you say you've defeated a dragon before. How big?
It was modest, but it was a year ago.
Well, the Pale Mover is not modest. The Pale Mover is the last shadow you ever see. Its breath freezes the sky. Its jaws could swallow half our village. Now, some have made it this far and have mentioned similar things. And they've yet to come back, and the dragon remains. What makes you believe you have a chance?
I squeeze Layla's shoulder and push him forward a little bit.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay. Um. I. He starts panicking. He's like, I was not expecting to be a spokesperson. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm pretty sure we could do some damage. Remove them from the domain. It's sort of what we have a goal to do. Let's dethrone the dragons. He points at Basar, and he's like, he's pretty willing. We'd like to test out how strong he is.
You see the person next to him kind of leans down and whispers something into his ear, and you see Ikolf kind of nod a bit. Strength. You've made it this far, and you look far worse for wear than other southern travelers have been. Perhaps there is strength in you. If you're looking for an opportunity to prove that strength, We have one for you,
Oh,
if you're willing.
is this towards the? Like, is he gesturing this towards the group or specifically Layla's?
Well, he's speaking to you because now, like, you're you're the front runner. You're the face of the group currently.
Oh, okay. I'm listening. What's this you have to offer or suggest?
Your timing is auspicious. Tomorrow begins the iceworm hunt,
Oh,
and if you are looking to prove your strength, we could use a few extra bodies.
maybe maybe like Layla's is like conflating the names, but I thought you said a little bit ago that you don't bother the dragon.
Oh, the dragon we do not bother, but the iceworms we harvest.
Oh,
Make no mistake, they are no pushovers. It is dangerous work. Not all make it back from the hunts. But if you have the strength and resolve, your help would be appreciated.
what's the
Or,
average?
or as you say, if you wish to move on, you're welcome to.
What's like the average turnaround of the people that go? Like, let's say you leave with 10, how many would come back?
Well, hopefully all 10, if all goes well. But a hunt seldom goes to plan.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming like 6 come back.
It depends. It depends on the age of the worms. You see, the young ones like to travel in pods. They're not quite strong enough on their own yet. Once they're large, though, really large, then that is something to be worried about. But we do not hunt them.
Okay.
If I might interject, then in exchange for, I suppose, assisting you, maybe keeping more of your folk alive on this hunt, really what we'd ask of you in endeavoring to both get to the Hollow and also to maybe deal with this pale mover is provisions, supplies, proper clothing. We have some, but and transportation. I like point to the dock. We have coin to spare, but I do not know if coin means the same to you as it does to the Southerners.
You'll find in Skuro, gold and silver serve only to weigh down your pockets, and weight gets you killed in the frozen north.
I assumed as much.
Here, we trade in value or service.
So this is a service for value, I suppose. Exchange.
If you wish to help with the hunt, then we will answer any questions you may have. We may not have all your answers you seek, but as you see, we are from here, and as you said, you are not. Bring us a worm. We will provide you with provisions. Bring us 2 worms. We'll provide you with a sled.
Does size matter when bringing these back?
The juveniles are varying in size, but the only matter is to get them.
Okay. Just didn't know if you had a preference of the larger ones or the smaller ones.
Well, the bigger they are, the faster you need to run.
Ah. Well, you guys, seems to be pretty straightforward.
And you say it begins tomorrow.
Yes. There's been many signs of their breaching as of late. We think tomorrow we should set out. The hunting grounds are only a few days' travel. By then, the worm should breach, and then we will chase.
Is there some place we could find lodgings for the evening? If it's a matter of trade, I have songs, I have music, entertainment, I suppose, which is value in itself.
Do you have books?
I do not have books, but I have stories.
I've produced 2 books.
You see a couple of people's you can see there's excitement for the a book coming to this place. Hmm. What of fruit? It's been a long time since I've had a plum.
I look at Durham.
I could get you some fresh berries.
Hmm. Berries we have, but I'd be interested in what your berries are.
There's like a questionable eye from Layla's. He's like, did I hear that right?
You may have heard.
Um, yeah, I will cast Goodberry, and 10 good berries ripen and hang ready to be plucked from
Okay.
the staff.
As you cast your spell, about 50 people pull their blades out because they do not know you and you are casting magic. You see, as the berries produce, you see Ekolf raises his hands and lowers them, and the people begin setting their blades back.
I grin. Berry.
He reaches out, plucks one, pops it in his mouth, begins chewing. You see, he closes his eyes, and a smile runs across his face. And he raises his hands in the air, does like a chef's kiss kind of maneuver. That is very good. Very good.
Glad you enjoyed.
He kind of runs his hand, gesturing towards the group of you, and says, "You can tell your hearts are in the right places here. You have brought us news of the South, offer of potential help, and maybe trade. You are welcome here in Skuro. Come, we will get you a warm fire and a hot meal." You see the crowd again. A murmur runs through. The stern faces kind of fall into more jovial ones, and Ekolf gestures for you to follow as he turns, and the crowd begins moving. Many of them disperse back to whatever it is that they were doing, but a large amount of the crowd is heading towards the very large longhouse hall here. And as the doors open before you, there is the bright orange glow of the many fire pits in the center of this building. The sides are lined with furs and benches. There's wall sconces. There's a variety of spitted meat over top of some of the fire pits. Um, and he gestures you and brings you to a kind of a table near the front of these setting benches and everything like that. He asks that Laylis, he's picking up that Basar and you, Basar is staying close to you. And Ekolf says to you, "Your dragon we will tolerate in here, but keep a close hold of him. Anything out of line, and our welcome may be worn thin."
Understood.
Very good.
I will keep a good eye on him. But caveat, not caveat, but like just update. He's in his like teenager phase. He's a little angsty.
um, you see, like, looks at Basar for a bit and kind of nods, but you don't think he's nodding in understanding of like, I know what you're talking about. He's just kind of like politely kind of nodding, and says, "Well, enjoy yourselves, sir. If you could provide any music, that would be wonderful. And there are many of us that would like to take a look at what books you have with you."
I am so in.
I give them a book of fairy tales I picked up a very long time ago in Oakenshield or Oakenstall. And then one of the books that me and Ragnarok found that has some of the stories about the far south.
Very cool. Yeah, people like the Ikolf is very interested in the books. He's turning the pages ravenously, just kind of looking through it all. And then people are coming over and like looking over the shoulder. Having like new like actual like written knowledge here in book form is seemingly like highly regarded.
In that case, I would also like to show the book or the journal that I have of all the people that I've come across and written down their stories for.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. Um, that it's just that's like a very kind of esoteric, interesting thing. What kind of details are in there about the people?
It's details of their lives and little short notes about things that they wanted me to do for them that they couldn't do for themselves before their death. And then, of course, like little check marks if I did it or not. And kind of like what was the most happy memory you've had and what was the most interesting thing that happened to you. It's all very positive kind of stuff.
Yeah. You see, someone looks up at you and says, "There's a lot of check marks in here.
It's kind of my duty to ensure that there's all check marks. I'll get there one day.
You are like a shepherd."
In a way.
I like you. um, what kind of songs do you play, Zon?
It's definitely getting everybody's attention with like you start off with this seems like a place that would love to just I mean, while people are eating it first around the fires, it's just general ambiance, but we build towards, raucous dancing music for a while. And then we crescendo into the song of the the slaying of the worm. The slaying of Rug. Yeah, I think I just called it the slaying of the worm. And the heart of the mountain saves Maras.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, when you get to the dancing part, a lot of people here dance. A lot
I
of
read
them.
the room.
These people, they live a hard life, but they enjoy the moments that they can celebrate here. um, you see here, this is you can tell that like as you're looking around the hall here, as people come and go and join in and mingle. Um, uh, this is a very well knit community here. Everyone seems to look out for each other in this place, and they're always excited when a new face comes in um, to see their friend for the day. A very light, fun atmosphere inside the hall. Um, this goes on for quite a while. Eventually, things begin to die down a little bit as the evening wears on. You see Ilkolf, deep in his cups, says to you all, "You need a place to sleep, but we unfortunately don't have many visitors, so there is no inn or tavern as you might be used to. However, there are many a fine corner and comfy fur here. The embers will stay warm for you all night."
Thank you. We appreciate the hospitality.
On this evening, is there anything anybody wishes to do in particular?
I'm occupied.
Mhm.
Okay. um, you go about your various evening activities. Um, the one thing of note, the meat that is served is, and there's like a hearty kind of root that's also served along with it. Um, the meat that is served is abnormal tasting. And when you inquire about it, you are told uh, this is not the last, but it is near the last of their reserves of iceworm meat. And then they are excited for the hunt tomorrow. For in a week's time, roughly, more food will come.
Do they only hunt for like a week in a year?
Uh, no. They do hunt other game. There is elk and moose. There are bear out here. A variety of other kind of wildlife. But they make great use of the ice worm. It seems to be, as you look around, like there's a lot of like iceworm teeth used as cutting implements. The hide is used in a lot of either clothing or used in other places in construction. It seems to be just a generally like widely used animal here.
Yeah, I think I kind of do some inquiring about like um maybe some of the historical context of their like culture and the relationship with these worms.
It,
Um yeah,
yeah.
curious.
um, So they it's not a once a year hunt of the ice worms, but it's not very often. They say depending on the signs that they see, it might be 2 or 3 times a year, but it's not the same location. They have to travel to different areas where the ice worms spawn. Um, but it is a kind of rare event. It's not done very often. Um, they've been, I mean, it's been a part of their culture since as far back as like anybody can remember, right? Like my grandfather's grandfather used to hunt, ice worms and that sort of thing. Um, they're um, as they talk about it, occasionally there's like mentions of um like they mention the dragon occasionally, right? It's not like a major topic of their conversation, but you kind of get the sensation that um, they both, for both the ice worm and the dragon, it is both revered and feared at the same time. But the difference is that uh, the ice worms, they're able to actually uh, like actually hunt the juveniles, where the pale mover, they're like absolutely not, in no way shape or form would we ever think that we could go after that thing. um uh but this has been a big part of their culture for a long time. They don't, it's not like a god-like entity to them, right? they're
Yeah.
they're not they're not deified.
It's
um
like a natural disaster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's one. It's like, look, the ice worms do a lot for us, um, but we have to be careful about it.
Mhm. Um, I'm curious if they have any like historical items or like or relics of their people that are like generations old, made of the same creature, like in kind of a weird cr- craftsman way. Rainier's very curious about like the utility of the beast, I think.
Yeah, you you're shown many of the people here carry small blades about them. As in this kind of place, like you occasionally just need a knife for things, and most people carry a blade. They do have like there is a forge here in town. Occasionally, they will go to the mountains nearby to mine a bit, though it is not like a huge part. This is definitely more of a timber and animal kind of construction that they do.
Mhm.
Um, but there, there is some metal, but some metal blades, but the vast majority are like teeth. From the worms themselves they're very sharp. They're easily honed. They last quite a while. You see, somebody says that they're holding a blade that is, 5 generations old. You can like see time on it, that it probably won't last more than maybe 2 or 3 more generations before the tooth will eventually start to, it might show signs of wear and crack and that sort of thing. So some of the items do hold up longer than others. um, the hides tend to last for if well taken care of, could last you years. So well designed, like well constructed clothing also carries a lot of value here. And honestly, because you're like asking these kinds of questions, they do not trade in coin here, like at all.
Mhm.
And it's not just that, hey, while you're traveling, that's a lot of extra weight that could have been food, or something of real value. It's also that uh, coin or treasure has no value here because it attracts the pale mover, and so they do not. Basically, they make no use of it and do not want it from anyone.
Okay. I'll make sure that I pass that along, like when we camp out together. But one last thing is getting kind of a judgment call for the size of previous hunted worms, like what to kind of grasp a kind of size category we should be preparing to muck about with.
Um, uh, it varies. Obviously, there's a variance. 'Cause they won't know the sizes until they see them. Is the thing,
Right,
right?
right.
So it's like, well, we estimate that this pod is likely, they likely to be juvenile still. There shouldn't be any older juveniles in there, ones that are on like the cusp of full adulthood. They the once a ice worm becomes an adult, it will not travel in a pod anymore. It does not need the group security. Um, but the sizes, I mean, the juvenile could range anywhere from 15 to 30 feet in length. Some could be more. I mean, these are large worms. Large worms. Each one would be fully capable of swallowing a man whole.
Perfect. Um, he'll probably wait till they've had until later in the evening when they are all the parties back together. But Rainier will make notes about these monsters.
You You asked a lot. Since you asked about the hunt too, I'll give you this information as well because I feel like
Cool.
it would have brought like come up in that conversation.
Mhm.
The way they do the hunt, and I'll say Ilkoff explains this part of it to you, is uh, he explains they know like everyone like their response to the magic cast for the good berry, right, is a normal response, in this world of people like, hey, you're doing magic. I have no idea what you're doing, right? But he explains they're not unfamiliar with magic, though many don't practice here. They do have shamans. That's their word for wizards and whatnot. So they are familiar with what magic can do, but their use of magic again is to nothing to draw the ire of the dragon. So they don't do there's no fireballs being cast up here, right? It's not, they don't use it for that kind of thing. It's actually extremely minimal and more like ritualized sort of thing that they have here with it. Um, and when the hunt, in terms of the help that they are asking for specifically, is they are not asking for you to use your magic to hunt these worms. Um, what they're asking for is for you um, to ride the hunting sleds and hunt in their way. Once the worm is brought down, should you need to use some kind of magic, that's fine, but they don't hunt using magic. And the way they do it is um, they they're like I was just thinking of uh the name of this thing before session because I was having trouble remembering it. Like a chariot is what they use, drawn by an animal. It's like a chariot sled. There's room for a driver, and then the majority of the rest of the sled holds a mounted like heavy crossbow ballista device, which they launch spears with roped hooks, and the hooks drag on the ice and rock and begin to slow the worms down. They hunt them by exhausting the worms, and they explain that when the worms breach after being under for so long, it's kind of like whales that they have to stay above the water to breathe and exchange that air for a while. And as juveniles, they can't immediately go down deep again. And doing so, they can drive the worms and cause them to exhaust themselves um, before they would risk then burrowing and losing the worms altogether. And that's how they hunt. They use these sleds with the ballista. There's large support sleds that follow the group, and then there's two dog sleds that do scouting on the outer edges of it. And it's the idea is to peel off either the youngest, the weakest, whatever. But once a worm gets peeled off, whatever group is responsible for that side, it goes after it, and the rest keep driving the others, hoping to peel more if possible. So what they're asking for, so you guys understand what you're getting into, is um, they have 3 sleds, so it'd be 3 teams of 2. Um, that would be shooting the ballista and trying to slow the worm that way and get the worm to stop, essentially. He explains it's as dangerous as it sounds, but if all goes well, everybody should make it home with maybe just some scrapes and bruises.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand. It's 3 teams of 2, and I is that one of us driving, one of us firing, or one of them driving?
One of you drives, one of you should. Otherwise, like, what are we
Okay,
doing
perfect.
here, right?
Right. That's what I assumed, but yeah, yeah. Okay.
Now they'll also be doing this as well, but that's you'll be doing that part of it.
Yes. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that back to the party. And to go over that again, quickly, um, well, we have to help break pods of young worms up so that they can be worn down. We have chariot sleds that we're going to be teaming up to drive, and firing javelins into it to drag it back and kill them. And the less magic we use, the better, because it attracts the dragon, right?
Um, he says basically it's like one, it's they don't hunt with their magic, so they don't want you to hunt with the magic, right? That's not the purpose of the hunt. Right? Like you all could just walk up and like detonation blast, right, like that's not the purpose of any of it. Once the worm, like if you have the worm slowed and like you have to fight it for some reason, look, defend yourselves, right? But like
Oh, okay.
if you start launching fireballs with the hunt, they're going to tell you to leave, right?
But it's fine. Just a quick little fireball. It'll be fine.
Just one or two fireballs, please.
When you see how good it does against them, they'll be like, "Yo, we need to learn that." And
Wait,
look,
what?
teach them.
What do y'all mean I can't use my dynamite on this fishing trip? What kind of fishing y'all doing?
Exactly.
But did I misunderstand that like the dragon has a? I caught the thing with the coins for the worms, but did I misunderstand something about the dragon?
No, I mean you understand it, right? They're just I'm not.
Oh, okay.
The thing. All right, so if you shoot a fireball, the dragon's not going to come from the sky, right?
Right.
It's their culture is that we don't do anything to bring the ire or attention of the dragon because while we are on the edge of its
Gotcha.
territory, we are in its territory and it is tolerating us, right? Anything we do to bring it to us could spell the end of our civilization.
Got
Right?
it. Okay.
Yeah, they are deathly afraid of this thing. Deathly afraid of it.
Understandably so.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
Share that.
Okay. The evening winds to a close. You all have a long rest here for a change of pace from your cold camping nights into a warm, safe environment indoors, not being rained on, not having bugs crawling over you, no weird creatures.
I give Bazaar scritches because he finally is not shunned by the community.
You see, you give him a little scritch, and the head that you're scratching, like the eyes open a bit, and kind of yawns a little, and just speaks quietly to you in Draconic, and just says, "It's nice here, Father."
Exactly. So we want them to stay. We don't want to be rude and mean to them. Also, this is all in Draconic. Unless anybody like random here speaks Draconic, they can't really be eavesdropping.
There's not a lot of people in the long haul. I mean, there's several people that are like passed out, but like it's not filled like it was. This is near the end of your evening. Basar seems comfortable. He seems comfortable and at rest here at the moment.
So he's no longer angry.
Not right now. Okay. Everybody takes a long rest.
Let me find the button on here again. There it is.
There it is. Okay. You are awakened by just the general sounds of people moving about as their day is beginning. People are going around cleaning and straightening up the main hall here. There's a kind of a buzz and excitement as um, uh, the town is getting kind of ready for the hunt to start in earnest. It's roughly like 7-ish in the morning here. It is still pretty dark out. Just a very dim glimmer of a sun in the far distance. Um, uh, you can smell the smoke from the various chimneys in the village here, the crunching of boots filling the air, the yipping of dogs being attached to sleds, and you find as you gather your things and yourselves and step outside, you see Ilkolf is helping to kind of manage some of the groups, just directing who's going to need to be where. There's a couple people with him helping to assist in that regard as well. When he sees you all, he waves you all over. A fine morning to you all. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
I have here, if you'll take it. I know we offered this to you, but you do not have to help us if you don't want to. But if you do, we have your sleds. And he gestures to these 3 chariots with these, again, large kind of like bigger than a heavy crossbow, smaller than a real ballista. And you see people going at work, kind of lining up javelins, attaching ropes, making sure the ropes are coiled well, that the hooks aren't tangled with each other. And getting like supplies set onto these things and getting the other pack sleds set up as well. You'll need 3 teams of 2. Have you decided who your teams are?
I have a question. How many dogs are pulling each sled?
You see there's 6 dogs with a 7th as the lead, and there's 2 dog sleds.
I'd say for the sled I'm on, could I trade the lead dog for a lead of my own?
Oh, the sleds are the scouts. Your steeds are these. He makes a whistle sound, and you see people beginning to lead several very strange-looking mounts into your direction. Let me find them. Yes, yes. You see, like shoulder wise, about as tall as not as tall as you, but like as tall as like a normal normal man, human man. These 4, they're quadrupeds with almost toes for like their hooves, right? They're hooved, but they have like almost a toe-like structure. With these also coming out the front, the smaller what look to be like manipulator appendages. Wide mouth with sharp teeth, and an almost spider-like set of many eyes.
Oh my god.
Hate it.
Cute. Uh,
It's a lot
What
less
if-
hair than I was expecting.
can Playlist sort of offer up? He's like, so what about Basar, right? Like you guys, nobody's like a real fan of him, but how do I leave him? Or can he be a sled? Can he help?
Oh, what can he do?
He's usually my mount, my best friend. He could shoot out little fire, like not fire, but like ice. He gestures because he's like the ice form right now. He's like, he does a lot of things, but I think he could be a good mount or sled puller, if you will.
Do you? I want to make sure I understand. Do you tell them he shoots fire or ice, or do you have Basar shoot fire or ice?
I don't demonstrate it. I am just like
Thank
he
God.
looks like the ice version. He can, like to help us with hunting and things. He infuses us with the affinity he is.
Interesting. You said he was your best friend.
Yes.
How odd.
Well, he
He
goes with
has
me everywhere.
wings. Does he fly?
Yes, but I cannot ride him while he flies.
Hmm. Then perhaps he could scout from the sky.
I was gonna suggest that, but you said you were sort of worried about the pale one, and so I didn't
Yes.
know how he might or they might, react to how do I put it? A another of his kind indirectly flying around. I don't know if they have like a sense for that necessarily.
Oh, I should hope not, but that is a good point. It is up to you. We are far enough away, and there is much land between us and him.
Oh, then yes, I'll more than happy let him fly. I just didn't want him to feel left out.
Hmm.
He does everything with me, so
The alternative is he could run, but the snow lopers are very fast.
yeah, no. I think he could keep up flying instead.
How fast are they?
We have seen your southern horses. This outpaces them.
Oh,
But more than that, it lives here, in this environment, and the heavy snows do not impede it. They are perfect animals for chasing the worms. Each of the uh, chariots
Mhm.
takes 2 snow loopers. So you each have 2 of those that are hooked up to the front of it. Um, and they kind of stand there. They turn towards each other. You can see the little manipulator arms at the front they use to help clean each other, picking little bugs and whatnot out from each other's hair and face and whatnot. There are many
Oh.
eyes blinking in different unison and
How
whatnot.
many of them are there?
There's 6 total. Well, you have 6, and then there's 3 other sleds that also are pulled by 2 each. So there's 12 in total that they have here.
All right. So our contribution here is to drive these things and
It is
The way it
their traditional hunt. It is an honor to be invited to partake. We drive these sleds, fire the catapults into the worms so that the hooks may then slow them down, correct?
Yes.
And I understand magic is an unacceptable addition to the arsenal. Is it acceptable to use magic on each other?
He considers this for a moment and says, "That should likely be fine."
Very
all
well.
right.
I am honored to join the hunt.
I'm gonna
If
need a
anyone
moment to hold on. I'm gonna go over here and cast some magic real quick. It's gonna sound like a song, but I'm gonna find us an area. You said an aerial scout is useful to you?
At times, but we're still 2 days' ride from the hunt.
Well, I'm mostly afraid Scritches isn't even gonna be able to keep up with these things anyway. So,
I do-
Oh, very well.
Do we? Everybody, do we have? Are we 2 days? Are we? Is it? Is the hunt towards where we're headed? I'm not trying to be rude. I just thing in the sky, you know.
You see, he looks up, and as you follow his gaze, you can see the between. I mean, it's very overcast here, but occasional breaks in the sky. You can see the Atropos there, just sitting in the sky, looking down.
I was. Oh, sorry.
If your aim is the hollow, the hunt doesn't take you in that direction. We head north.
I was kind of under the impression that by helping them, they give us provisions, which would reduce the time to the hollow.
If we get two, we get transportation. Presumably these things.
Okey-doke.
Although I'm increasingly not seeing how we're gonna pull that off because I don't know how to drive these things or to shoot that thing. I'm useless in either of these tasks.
Well, the bolt is quite easy. You simply pull the string back, and then pull this trigger here. Your friend has a similar device, just smaller. As for the snow
Yeah,
lopers,
shrug.
as for the snow lopers, he just kind of like claps you on your shoulder. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
How do we want to split up? What teams do we want?
I do have a quick mechanical question.
Sure.
Are these going to require like land vehicle checks?
If you have vehicle proficiency, that it would be applicable.
I would like to spend an hour if I have it to gain that.
Yeah, they're setting up, like, they're packing things, right? There's a lot of equipment still to get done. So yeah, if you need an hour to do something, you have plenty of time for that.
Okay, cool.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll also remind you, Doug, you're currently playing a ranged rogue. Are you
You
sure?
are one of the only ones who might be able to operate this weaponry.
That's true.
We have 3 people who could conceivably operate this weaponry, and you are one of them.
Well, I think Sean's made it like it's something that anyone can do. We just kind of need to see, like, some of us are going to be a little bit better, but anyone can do it.
Yeah, the ballistas. Look, the mechanics for the ballistas are easy. It's a D20 plus 5, right? It's just flat. You know, there's no proficiency because it's not a weapon that like you would just have proficiency with, right? Those are
Oh.
just flat rolls for it. And the vehicle though is if you have vehicle proficiency, like for land vehicles, you can use that. You could do animal handling is obviously able. You can use that to try to drive it. It's possible to argue for something else besides that. For instance, if you have a way to like communicate with beasts, right, that could help in these endeavors, you know what I mean? Like, you all have skills and abilities, but the main ones that would be used for driving would be the vehicles or animal handling.
Okay, cool. I'll stick with my plan.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I have both of those as skills.
Yeah, awesome.
So we got 2
Um,
drivers.
I feel like I could shoot.
I
mean,
think
I don't think you want me driving this when I'm used to riding on a 4-legged individual.
are these beasts? Are these just animals?
These are beasts. They are not monstrosities.
Excellent.
Sure.
Whatever you say.
What do you
Sort of-
mean?
Sort of a spore
Um,
situation.
You don't like
Oh.
this?
No, his head's so bad. His head and neck situation is
Yeah.
is unpleasant.
Dare you? They're
One of-
adorable.
One of them looks at you and a tongue comes
Oh.
out and licks its eyes.
All they do is shriek.
I will spend 2 third level spell slots to cast Animal Friendship to us. Let me do this the right way here. And that should cover at least an attempt to catch all of the creatures.
Okay. Okay. You find their intelligence is 4 or higher.
Ugh.
Great. I will expend a charge from the Staff of the Woodlands and cast Speak with Animals.
Oh,
Okay. What do you say to these animals?
Hello. My name is Durham. I will be riding on one of the sleds today. It will be my first time. Is there anything you would like me to know?
You can see like the group of your 6 like their posture changes. They kind of like stand up a little taller. The manipulator arms like kind of shake a little bit. Like you sense their movements as like excitement at this, right? And there's like a chattering noise that comes from all of them. But you hear it as like it speaks to us. We hear it its words.
real quick, I try to double check. Wrong spot for the spells. Layla's is just gonna eavesdrop. He's just gonna cast Speak with Animals at the same time and just listen along.
Okay, yeah. So you begin hearing them talk as well, and they have they have an oddly childlike kind of voice pattern. The sound that comes out of them, and they say to you, Durham, "We will be running soon, chasing the worms. You will drive us, yes?"
We will, my friends and I. It is our first time, and we are very excited. We hope to be both successful and safe in our hunt.
So
Is
do we.
there anything you can suggest that might lead to a positive outcome for all of us?
Can you loosen this rein? It is tight.
Certainly. Say when.
That is nice.
Wonderful. Before we go, anyone care for some scritches?
You see like the little arms kind of move a little bit. What is scritches?
I will slowly reach up behind an ear, maybe? I don't know.
Good luck finding that.
Right. Right.
Behind
And
that eye.
yeah, and just give a little scritch at a spot that I think might be hard to reach with the forearms.
You see like you see one of its legs kind of begin moving like a dog a little bit, and a kind of like cooing noise comes out of it.
Uh,
A hooing noise?
A cooing noise?
he seems to, how rude of me. Do you all have names?
I've never
Sorry, Sean.
hated you. I've never hated you more.
Right. You could easily just say yes, and they tell us their names, and we can just move on.
I love that.
Okay. All right. You got Ema, Stroll, Burka, Breg,
Like America.
Mossbjörn, Gulhrisk. I will put that into the chat and never speak it again.
Yeah.
With absolutely no context. I look forward to reading that
Yep.
at
Yeah,
some
perfect.
point next week.
Hey,
Breg here seems to be enjoying it. Would anyone else like before we go?
There's just a chorus of them yelling the word scritches at you.
I instruct my fellow party members to yes, Stroll would like Scritch in that location.
can you ask them if they understand us at all?
Do you understand any of my friends when they are speaking?
No.
I tried giant.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of reaction.
Well,
Can I try? What is the Not. It's not druidic. It's starts with a S.
Sylvan?
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 Yes.
You find with Sylvan, you don't think they're understanding you. Well, I mean, technically they understand you because you cast Speak with Animals, actually. So,
Yes.
actually, until that spell ends, they just understand you.
Oh, okay. I'll read off these real quick that I have: Elvish, Ignan, Primordial, Sylvan, and Terran.
Yeah, if you find like if you after the 10 minutes from your spell, because that's gonna like override anything you're doing. Like you speak another language, the magic
Mhm.
translates it, right? So that doesn't change the spell function. But after the 10 minutes, they don't understand your Sylvan, but like there is like a recognition somewhere in them from it, right? Sylvan has a much more like it has a deeper connection to nature than other languages do. And
Yeah.
so like you won't be able to communicate any ideas, but like you sense that like on a deep primordial level, the sounds have a resonance, but they don't understand what you're saying.
I'll
Okay.
try just cause casting tongues on myself and seeing like if they're even capable of like a language.
Using
They can't.
tongues,
They certainly can't talk to me because that's not how it works. Probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they have a language, then they
But if
can
they
talk.
have a language, then well, yeah, I guess so.
yeah, isn't tongues
mostly
if,
they can
if
part
you
of what
speak a
tongues
language,
does.
that's the spell works, right? That's
Yeah.
all.
Correct.
Yeah. You find that they don't like respond with your tongue speech.
Okay.
just before the Speak with Animals runs out, I will explain to them that I can only do this for limited times and at limited times during the day, but I will be doing it at various points while we are together. And
Exciting.
yes, if you very much need to communicate something, I will try and teach them how to snap. Because why not? Like, let's get weird.
Don't they have the fingers? They do have the fingers.
No, they got
Hooves.
Uh,
Never mind.
like
Yeah, you see
Trotter.
there like the movement of it they're like
Yeah.
replicating. They're not snapping yet, but like they're doing that thing where like it's not a real snap, but like there's a little bit of the like
Right, but it's clearly not a natural movement they'd make.
yeah, but
That's,
they're like
that's all right. That's all I need.
Yeah, their manipulators are capable of it, but
Mhm.
it's not they don't instinctively know how to do it.
Great. So I'll just explain to them, if you desperately need to communicate with us, do that, and I will invoke my magics again so that we can communicate. Sound reasonable? Sound fair?
You can see like they're there's a lot of yeses.
Great. Wonderful. I look forward to the hunt with you. In Durham's head, he's envisioning a doo-wop group with these creatures all standing around a trash can with a fire coming out of it.
Very cool.
So, how are we splitting up here? I'll take one of these things, if only because I can coordinate with something in the air, like hook a thumb towards Scritches. I'll shoot.
And
What,
there's a
what
cra-
are
there's
our
a
three
there's a
options again?
there's a just so you know there is a crowd of people around your Pegasus.
Oh yeah, no.
Just like
This
whoa.
is known. Yeah, I give the mental command. Spread the wings.
There's a lot of
Spread the wings. Flap them.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of claps. That's a crowd.
Yeah, let
pleaser.
let anybody touch the wings if they want to.
Yeah,
It's huge for them.
Yeah, like every kid in the crowd
Oh,
is just
fuck yes.
losing it. Snow lopers, that's old news. That's
Yeah.
old hat. Who cares?
This horse is not weatherized, so just prepare for that. It's already shivering. So yeah, how we pairing off? I'll take a gun, a ballista rather.
Y'all go with me then.
Sure. Team music, team song, boys.
I'm not as good as I was before.
And look, it lives in your heart.
What are the other two roles again? Somebody's dragging him down and somebody's
Somebody drives, somebody shoots. It's just two rolls.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's more like whaling, where you hit them and then you just wait them out. You just go forever.
For some reason I was thinking we only had one ballistic. Never mind. Got it.
No, we got
No,
3.
Yeah. Three sleds. Each needs a driver and a shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess.
Maybe we should put if not that I want to break up. Never mind. I guess okay. Never mind.
What?
I was thinking spread apart the people that have vehicle proficiency, but I just realized you're shooting, not
Yeah, no.
driving.
I don't. I'm
Who
trying
else
to
has
double-
vehicle proficiency?
That's what I'm looking for.
I do.
Okay.
Where would I find that
Germs.
on this sheet?
Bottom left.
Where your tool proficiencies are.
Yeah,
If that
if it's not listed, then you don't.
I have dice set for tools.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
gamble.
Durham's got animal stuff. Technically, so does Layla's.
Right. I mean,
Right,
I
so
can
I
try.
Which one of you wants to use the ballista?
Right. I
mean,
do
I can
not
use-
have.
It's fine.
Yeah. I don't have the vehicle proficiency, but I do have the animal handling and survival
Yeah.
stuff. So I could drive the other.
I'll roll with you, Durham.
Wonderful.
All right. Laylis, I think that leaves you and I.
Okay. We have an aerial view. He'll be flying
bet.
above.
Okay. All right. So Whispers drives, Zol shoots. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You each of the snow lopers are your 3 sleds. You can see a Whispers in the front for drive, Zol's in the back for shoot. Go ahead and arrange your team members in order and together.
So don't forget your 15 temporary hit points.
Yep.
Yep. Don't forget your inspiring leader temp hit points.
Thank you. Everybody has one good berry from last night.
Thank you.
Hiya.
Okay,
I
so
had to
that's-
refresh, so I apologize.
Oh, you're okay. And it's the team that has the HP, not Basar, correct?
Right. Yeah. No mounts.
Believe.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure.
Only peoples, no mounts.
Only peoples, no mounts. Okay. And Lelis, what's your role?
Double check. Sorry, Malcolm.
firing.
Laylis will be ballista.
Ballista. Okay.
Yep.
We'll just have your mounts just behind you. And they can act as aerial scouts if you want to make use of them. Okay, cool. And you see a few hours go by, and the preparation seems to be made. Teams are getting into the dog sleds, the other the other hunting sleds, and then the larger pack sleds. Those are being pulled by one of those like hairy yak-looking animals. So there's two of those sleds in the rear that are holding like all of the gear that would be needed to like harvest and that sort of thing, and presumably also carry whatever's being pulled back and that sort of thing. Cool. The hunting groups all come together. You see Ekolf is in the hunting group. He's in one of the sleds. He's acting as one of the drivers. He gives a nod and a wave to you all. And the crowd that is gathered here is wishing everyone fond farewells. And you hear the murmur of a phrase that you had heard before from the foresters as you were setting out. Cries from the villagers shouting, "May fear never find you!" And you all begin heading north. It's 2 days' ride to the spawning grounds. On this day, the beginning of the day is fairly uneventful, but the sky is darkening, and you can see storm clouds gathering. But they're not near where you are. They are still in the distance. And you see as the day progresses, those skies darken and darken. And then you see Layla sees better than most with his special eyes, his eagle eye goggles. Layla, I'd say you're probably the first to notice this with that heightened vision. Several miles away, you see ice tornadoes just ripping across the tundra, just pulling vast amounts of snow up into the air. Occasionally you see like flecks of something dark, and then you realize it's just a boulder being hurled by the wind. But that storm, luckily for you, passes by, not coming in your direction.
Okay. He just holds that. He'll like tell Rainier. He'll be like, "Yeah, that was going to be bad."
Oh, well, good to know.
Okay. The Atropos also has no effect today.
Handy.
Okay. Getting used to driving these things, while there's nothing yet to shoot, you do find the person that is like in the ballista area. Man, this thing is purpose built for that and not well designed for like long-term travel, but it is what it is. So your ride is kind of shitty in the back, unfortunately. The driver is having a little bit nicer of a space up front, where you have just a lot of like equipment and gear nearby. That's
Using
needed.
my bugbearness, I am literally just folded in and look like a mound of like poncho. Just a fucking mound on the back.
Those who are in the driver's seat, though, let's get some driving rolls just to see how well you're getting a handle of things. You can use vehicle proficiencies, animal handling, or you can make an argument for something else.
Is vehicle proficiency wisdom or dexterity? I don't remember.
Oh, what would it be in this case? Let's go wisdom.
Okay. I'm gonna roll an animal handling check, but
I'm
it'll
gonna re-roll
be
that.
vehicle. It's the same score.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And
Alright,
just so
well,
I'm
that's
clear,
better.
is this still day one or are we on day two?
You're on day one. Yeah. This
Okay,
is just
great.
we just want to see like how are you getting used to like moving these things?
And not an auspicious beginning. Whispers.
Okay, Durham. Yeah, these things like you're anticipating what they're gonna do. They're beginning to anticipate what you need, and you see. I mean, all of you actually. Durham, you're having an easy go. You think maybe this thing likes you so much, it's trying to give you like a good ride. You're having a real smooth time of it, but you're gaining like a instinctual idea of how this thing wants to go. But Whispers and Rainier both, you're like, you guys pick up on this pretty quick. A lot of it you see is it's kind of like 60% you, 40% these lopers right now. They are well skilled moving in the snow. If you had brought horses up here, these horses would be fucked and would not be able to maneuver anywhere near as fast as these things. The deep snow trenches that would have halved or have the movement of the horses or more, these things are just galloping through it all. And even though they have the weight of you and the gear, the two mounts that you have are carrying it seemingly just fine. Cool. The group right now is together. It's a fairly like you're not directly next to each other, but you have some spacing between. It's not in a hunting formation yet. You all are just moving along. Sometimes some people are ahead, behind, just traveling so far. Occasionally, some of the scouts like go off far, and then you see one go ahead far, one sometimes they pull back far. They seem to be doing their job of just looking out for any dangers that you are either bringing attention to yourselves for, or that are just lurking in the area. But this day of travel is thankfully uneventful. You have various stops and breaks to make sure that you all get a rest and the lopers get a rest. They move quick, but they can't run forever.
Can
Much like a horse.
Make sure to meet all of our like hunting party folk and get their names.
Yeah. As there's like a longer break you guys have for like lunch.
Yeah.
Cold meats and that sort of thing. Yeah, you can get everybody's names. You have a
My intention is this seems dangerous as hell and also really easy to like lose people. So being able to scry any of these people easier would be a boon, I think.
yeah.
Like to get separated by a storm, shit like that.
Yeah, there's about 15 others in addition to your 6 here. So, a pretty large size hunting party, but you are hunting large animals as well. Yeah, you get all of their names, and they, a lot of them they're less wary of Basar now, but they're a little standoffish still. They're still like as like if he walks close, you can see they're like tense. They're not sure. They just don't know what he might do. Right.
To be fair, he is an abnormality even amongst like dragons or worms, considering he has 3 heads.
Yeah,
He's got a personality.
Yeah, it's yeah, they're just not sure what to make of him, but they're not they're not aggressive or anything like that towards
Okay.
him or you, just to be very clear about that. Cool. You find a shelter in a large snowdrift for the evening, against just a big hunk of rock out in the tundra. They pull the animals in close. You see the dongs just burrow themselves in. You see the snow lopers also, I mean, they kind of stand around a little bit. You see they dig their head into the snow, occasionally come up with some little kind of critter or some kind of leaf of some kind. They appear to be omnivores in general. And all the animals seem to be just right at home here in the cold north. Tents are set up. A fire is set just to have some like warm liquids. They do have their own watch. I don't know if you guys want to be like take part in the watch at all. Um, they'll certainly welcome anybody who wants to like help in that endeavor. Do any of you wish to help with the evening's watch?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, you all take turns. Some of you, some of them. Um, the sky here in the evening, as the clouds in the distance are moving, and the storm in the distance has pulled a lot of the clouds that way. The sky is actually cleared in the nighttime here, and you have this beautiful, sharp view of the bright stars in the sky and the nebula. You can see a clearer picture of the moon, though the Atropos has not left it. Here on the evening of the 7th, in the next day or so, actually tomorrow would be half moon, so the Atropos is halfway moved away from it at this moment. And you just have a better picture of the chunks again that are just kind of floating now next to the moon. Again, the moon is not cracked in half, but there's visible to the eye damage to its surface. The Atropos ever looking down, its skulled face and open maw. Who has first watch among you?
I
Uh,
probably will because armor.
Okay.
Either first or last.
Cool. Yeah, you can have the first watch for
I'll
it.
remember.
um, you see, the Skyorans, they're obviously like they're concerned with the thing in the sky, but they gotta hunt these worms, and life continues, right? So for them, it's well, we can't do anything about it, so I don't want to worry about like spend my days worrying about something I can't control in any way. So they seem to be less overall concerned with it in that regard. Though they do explain that, like, yeah, there's been occasionally in our village, like since it's occurred, uh, uh, people have been affected, which you saw in the druid camp as well. The Atropos has an effect on the populace. Ember, it sounded like not Zol, Whispers that you were also going to do first watch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get both of you to make nature checks?
Hey.
Yo, very good. Very good. You two and your whole group is obviously much more concerned about the Atropos than maybe anyone else is, and more connected to it than other people as well. And as you're just observing the sky, and I mean, you can't avoid it up there. The two of you are just noticing a pattern. You've been looking at this thing for a long time and seeing its movement. It took a long time to get to the moon and cover it, and then something happened when it did. But the imagery of the Children of the Dark Sire is not a black moon in the sky, it's a black sun in the sky. And with your roles here, you are doing some kind of quick back of the hand observation math here and looking at its patterns and its movements it's been making. It is beginning not to like fade on the horizon, it is beginning to hang in the sky more and more, and the path it's taking is almost like a beeline towards where the sun is in the sky. with the 20 on the nature roll, Whispers, your estimate is that by the next full moon, which will be the first of Alliant, the next month, the Atropos will reach the coverage of the sun, the same way it reached the coverage of the moon.
And what day of the month is it now?
It is the 7th of Elysius. There's 30 days in this month.
That's really concerning. What do you think is going to happen when it finally covers the sun?
Nothing good. I imagine that's for all the kinds of undead that can't handle daylight.
Mm.
Block it out, and suddenly they can be around whenever.
I mean, 23 days is not a lot of time to be ready for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
23.
I mean, 21, really, given we're taking 2 days to do this.
True. Maybe 19 because we got to get back still.
Let's hope it's worth it. This is, I really just don't know what we're gonna do to get up to that thing. I hope whatever's in the hollow, I hope that it has answers for us.
Yeah, I see no other path forward.
The evening's watch rotations continue on. Everyone has a long rest.
Ah,
Okay. It is the morning of the 8th of Elysis. Another early morning, roughly around 7:45, 8 a.m. Everybody begins getting all the gear ready. You can see emerging out of the snow drifts that have piled up overnight. The animals begin to shake off and rise. Sleds are cleared out. Coverings are pulled off. Gear is double checked. Everybody mounts up and heads out. You
friendship.
see, I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was saying just friendship. Walking with the new I'm gonna call them horse buddies, but I know that's not what they are.
Okay. Snow lopers, they're called. Snow loper. You ride for. Hold on, let me double check here. Okay, no Atropos activity today either. You ride for roughly about half the day, and you stop for lunch, and Floki begins discussing in a little more detail about like what is he basically explains we're approaching the spawning grounds for this particular pod. What they're going to do is one of their members are going to head out ahead of the group, and they're going to check for like how the area looks, and if it looks good for the hunt, they will instigate a breach. When that occurs, it will drive the young worms up to gain air, and when they're doing so, because they've been again down for so long, they won't be able to dive deep again, but they still will be burrowing and like coming up. Think of it like dolphins coming out of the water, except they're doing it coming out of the snow, right? So they'll still be able to go down a little bit, but they'll mainly be surface level. And again, the idea is to drive them and try to separate off slow, weak, etc. He gives a warning that be careful not to get too close physically to the worm, because as they move, they churn the snow. And if you come too close while chasing it to get an easier shot to hit, you also risk driving on unstable snow that could either slow you or worse, like capsize the sled. So they just warn you to make sure that you maintain a safe distance from the worm. But if need be, you could risk it if you want. Mechanically means that the closer you get to the worm, you'll get a bonus on your roll. If you get within 10 feet of the worm, you're gonna get a +2 bonus on your hit. It's a +1 if you're further than 10 feet. So 10 feet will give you +2. 20 feet is +1, and then 30 is just flat on it. The max range on the ballista is like 30 to 40 is their max range on it. They're meant to be, they just don't have extreme ranges on the device. He looks around at everyone, looks eyes with you all, and says, "Are you ready?"
If you'd like me
Yeah.
to take a moment, I can bolster some of your people against potential harm.
Sure. That sounds like a lovely idea. I'd like to have a little less harm.
Yeah, I will take the. You said there are 30 of them.
It's like roughly like 15 of them and
Okay,
6 of
yeah.
you.
I was like, it's either 15 or 30. I will take the. Yeah, I could do 6 at a time. So it'll take about 40 minutes, 40 minutes to inspiring leader all of them.
Okay.
Just give them a little bit. That the thing about it is it doesn't really feel or seem much like magic, right? Because it's just I'm like giving them heroic like sounding songs that just instill them with I don't know, vim or what vigor.
Vim and vigor, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, they're super into it, right? Like they're like, yeah. Do you have drums? You see in one of the
I-
pack vehicles, someone pulls out like a little set of drums.
I will actually ask Durham to assist with that because his people are way more percussion than I am, and I'm still not very good at the drums. I don't know that he's good at the drums either, but he has more experience than I do.
Durham enthusiastically agrees to help, and then drums offbeat the entire time.
Look, you're not off beat if you're setting the beat. We can
Right,
play around it.
Everyone else is offbeat. I love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they love this. Everyone gets very jazzed for what's to come. They feel invigorated by your words and song. And there's a final cheer let out, and they all excitedly hop up onto their sleds and snap the reins, and you all go soaring once more.
Just so I'm clear, we are about to engage today in the hunt, correct?
Correct.
Just gonna go ahead and
Death Ward.
indulge my trauma.
A classic.
Yeah, the mounts, none of the mounts have inspiring leader, including ours, but all the people here do.
Okay, cool. Very good. Another hour's ride, and then you can hear the shouts, and they're basically indicating like, okay, we're gonna slow down, and they're going to go ahead and basically initiate. This area that you're coming up to, uh, again, just a wide, a wide expanse of tundra, and you can see there are like chunks of rock and snow that you've been, avoiding and moving around as you're going. This white expanse just keeps going. You're far to the right is a tree line, but it's miles and miles away. And you can see to the far north and far right the faded tip tops of mountain ranges. You are in just a vast expanse at this point. Um, and one of their sleds begins pushing out far ahead as everyone else kind of comes to a slow. And you see Floki sidles up his sled next to the group of you all. And as you're all watching this person move ahead, about 15 minutes or so, and then you can see that they hop off the sled and begin just walking. And Floki explains, to drive them out, there's an old object we use, passed down from generation to generation. We're not sure exactly what its real purpose is, but it's frost giant magic, and the worms do not enjoy it. Watch. And you see the person in the distance. You see them just kind of get down in the ground. It looks like they're setting something down. Very good Discord gif. I like that. They set something into the ground. They begin running, hop on the sled. They begin to pull the sled back. There's a sharp, piercing noise that fills the air. And you see the snow where that person was kind of billow a bit before kind of bursting into the air. You feel the ground beneath your feet rumble, the rumbling getting stronger. And then, not far from where they were, you see the form of about 8 huge worms cracking through the ice and earth. These things, these ice worms, let me get a picture of the ice worms here. They've been saying juvenile this whole time, but if this is a juvenile, you don't want to see what the adults of these things might look like. Okay, this picture is bigger, but gives you an idea, right? They are not this extreme size, as there are like people there, but they are just large creatures. You see the plates on their body, the wide open maws. They twist and move in the air. They have a paleness to their form. There are parts of the plates that are almost it's like so white as to be almost translucent in nature. Floki points out that while they're juvenile, the plates are not fully formed, and they can be pierced, though they are still hard targets. Aim true, and may fear never find you. He snaps his reins, and the hunting party takes off. Okay, we are in a kind of chase scenario here. Can I have each of the drivers roll into initiative, please?
Bardic inspiration to whispers.
I have nothing but confidence in you. You got this.
And I have nothing but confidence in the spirit that's guiding me. Except he did die on the last mission. But
Well-
I'm sure that's gonna not do
Oh my
it.
god.
I'm getting a message that there's no combat encounter, so I can't.
There
roll.
is now.
Okay, awesome.
I just had. I forgot that I needed to do
Yeah,
that.
no worries.
Ooh. Should I? I'll save it.
Okay. The hunting party shoves off. You all give chase. The worms are ahead, and you're cruising through there. Shooters don't roll.
Oh,
You don't have to
bonus.
roll.
You're right.
Yeah, your turns will be determined by your driver's turns. I will just remove you. Okay, cool. You all begin to take chase. Give me actually, can I get I'll have Durham start. I'll need Durham's animal handling check here. Oh, sorry, your driving check. Okay, and then Whispers.
I will add D10.
Yep.
Ooh,
Okay,
yeah, we'll
13.
go with 13.
And then Renew.
This will still be a vehicle, but this is the modifier.
Okay.
Whoa, let's use an inspiration. Okay.
Okay, very good. Durham and Rainier, your sleds are moving a little bit faster than Whispers is. Okay. Let's go through. Okay. You can see the other team members on the. You guys are kind of holding up the left-hand side of the pack, and the other sleds are chasing after the right-hand side of the pack. And they're beginning. You guys are beginning to kind of split apart a little bit in that regard. A couple of their people rush ahead. Okay. You are now approaching range of these ice worms as they're cracking and running. Occasionally, they do dip under and then come right back up out again after only a few moments. They're moving swiftly, and your mounts are having to like really haul ass to try to catch up and then keep pace with these worms. Durham, how close would you like to bring the vehicle?
If I remember correctly, within 20 feet gives us a +1 bonus. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's what I'm going to aim.
Okay. Pushing close up to 20 feet, the ground is just rumbling as this pod of worms, each one just fucking huge, are crashing through the ground. You've come up to 20. That's a +1 on the ballista. Ember Prime, that'll be your shot. It's a D20 +5, and then you have a +6 because of your 20 feet.
20 plus 6. Ooh.
Okay. First javelin launch soars through the sky.
I'm gonna use the one inspiration I got for recap on that.
Cool.
I don't like a 7.
Hey.
Yo, huge. Soars through the sky, lands solid. You see the coil of rope at your feet is pulling, and then the spiked hook launches into the sky and begins dragging onto the ground, scattering, clicking, bouncing. You see as it digs under the ground, the hook comes down and then gets pulled up out again with it. Let's see how it does. That hook catches and you see a hunk of snow, a hunk of like a huge hunk of ice get pulled up out of the snow, and you see the speed of that worm get pulled down as it slows a little bit, as the hunk of ice is now dragging around behind it. This has caused a hazard around it as well, that you will have to be careful in your navigations. Bad low rolls on your driving skills, any of the like if you hit a nat 1, that's going to cause like an impact with one of these things coming around. Okay, that's going to bring us to Whisper's sled. Let me get an animal, your vehicle, your driving roll.
Yes, thank God. That was close.
Huge. Okay, you make up speed and begin to catch up. How close would you like to get?
I think I'll also do 20.
20 feet. Okay.
So, mechanical question. I've
Yeah.
got Scritches like keeping pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can Scritches functionally get close enough to the thing to give me the help action by helping me triangulate, right? Because
I'll allow it
giving
to
me-
give the
or
help
not a-
action, but it won't
not
give
a-
you
yeah.
it won't give you advantage on the roll. I'll give you an additional +1.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
how is this Pegasus, which is dwarfed by this worm, what is it doing to do this? Because that you can't like this. The Pegasus can't just fly and it distracted.
Yeah, no, it's not doing anything to it. It's helping me because I'm not proficient in judging distances, right? But the Pegasus can like clock like, okay, I'm this far away from you, right? And
Oh,
help me like
okay.
estimate. It can't do shit to the worm. Worm doesn't give a fuck. It is only assisting me because I am not at all proficient in like hitting a thing from range.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give have the Pegasus make a perception check, which I see
Okay.
it has proficiencies in.
Yeah, this is part of why if it didn't have perception, it would be a little weird.
Hey, 10 will do it.
Oh,
That'll get you your +1
okay,
on
cool.
top of everything.
And
so
what
that'll-
is the reload? Is it each javelin just a rope and a hook? There's
Each
no
javelin is a
extra
rope
thing,
and a
right?
hook, and then like you shoot it and then you reload it. I'm not having you do like a reload mechanic. It's just
Yeah.
you'll be like someone's job is to drive, your job is to shoot reload, right?
Okay. So I'd roll a d20 plus what?
Be +7 because you'll have 2 bonuses.
Hey.
That is a solid hit. Your javelin strikes true. The hook begins dragging.
Bonus action bardic inspiration to to my driver.
The driver, hell yeah.
You're just gonna get fed bardic inspirations for a while.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna need them.
All right. That hook has yet to catch on anything. You hit with the javelin, but are not slowing the creature with that particular shot.
Got it. But so it's just pulling along behind us currently, right? It just hasn't caught anything.
Yeah, it's just it's dragging behind the worm as it's going, essentially. Okay, Rainier, let's get a vehicle check and then a shoot after. How close? And then how close do you want to be?
Oof. I'll use my last inspiration to re-roll that as well. I think I'll match Durham's 20 feet from a different angle.
Okay.
Okay, that'll do.
Okay. You're able to maintain your current pace. Okay. Laylis, we'll get a shot from you. It's a D20 +6.
That would be a 12.
Be a 12. Okay. 12, you see, soars through the air, slams into the carapace, the armored plates, and unfortunately bounces off and flips into the snow.
Ah, damn.
It's okay. We got time.
You reload, but get prepared for the next shot here. Okay. Durham, let's get a vehicle check from you.
Nobody told me this shit was gonna be this hard.
Okay, 18 is good. You want to how close do you want to be for this?
Let's maintain 20 feet.
Okay, maintaining 20 feet. That's a normal +1 to it. Ember, if we can get a shot from you. Ted, are you there?
Yeah. Sorry. What?
Yeah, it's your turn to shoot.
Oh, I completely blanked. I apologize. $24.
That is a
Mm.
solid hit. Javelin strikes true once more. Okay. That hook doesn't catch anything on this go around. But the worm had been slowed from one of the previous hooks. So that hunk of ice is still dragging around for it. Very good. Okay. Whispers.
Hey,
Excellent. How close would you like to get?
20.
Okay. Given a +1. Zal, we'll get a shot from you. If you want your Pegasus' bonus, we'll need another perception check. 18 will get you that. Okay, 18 hits. Excellent.
Oh,
Javelin strikes true. That hook also does not catch anything here.
so it's basically just the two hooks are dragging along behind it, right? They just
Yeah,
haven't
they're
caught anything.
currently dragging along. They may catch something at a future point, but these current ones are not. They don't immediately grab something to slow it, but the javelins are making impacts. I'm not having you roll damage, just because that's not part of this particular function.
Ah, okay.
But you know
That's-
you are succeeding so far. Nobody's like failing anything. I don't want you to feel that.
That's what I
Um,
thought.
Okay, Rainier.
Okay. Come on. Okay.
Okay, you're able to maintain, but it's a little dicey. You're falling a little bit behind. Um, uh, you definitely won't be able to get to the 10-foot range, but you can still maintain 30 to 20.
That'll work.
Okay, and so which of those zones did you want to
Oh,
be
sorry,
in?
20.
20. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Laylis, let's get a shot from you. So you have a +1.
Oh, I didn't put the space there. Sorry, you said I +1 after a
Ooh,
+6 on
nice.
that.
Yeah, because it's a flat roll bonus, flat 5 all the time. So yeah, that's why
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
not yeah. Oh hell yeah, Nat
Fuck.
20 hits for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Lance, I did it. I think.
Roll again.
Hope it doesn't come back and bite me in the ass. Shit.
Okay. Hell yeah. That hook actually catches something as well. You see a large rock is nearby as one of the hooks grabs hold into it and flings this boulder into the air, begins bouncing and bouncing, slams into the worm for a moment as it reels and dives under. You see for a moment it dives. You don't see the boulder for a moment, but you see the worm suddenly like slam into the ground as the boulder like pops up, having caught on something. This worm is slowed again from this. Excellent. Your worm, having been slowed twice now, this one is now separated out from the other pod members. You can see as you look around, um, uh, another worm has been picked off by two of the other sleds, and another one is rushing, still driving the main pod ahead. So far, two worms have been pulled out at the moment. Um, which will bring us at the top of this round. So you have one worm that is you've managed to separate. Your choice will be if you want to spend your turn driving to try to catch another one, or driving and shooting to stay on this one. Durham, what would you like to do?
Can I tell or see how many people are in pursuit of that, I guess, third worm, the one that either hasn't been shot or at least doesn't seem to have been slowed if it has been shot?
Well, there's the pod is made of more than 3 worms.
Okay.
So like you've pulled one off to the left, they have
Okay.
pulled one off to the right, and then there's a pod of several more worms that is being driven by one of the hunter sleds right now, kind of in the center, right? So they're keeping the worms moving. So you have the choice to whether you want to stay with this worm or spend the whole turn trying to catch up and chase to get another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up and try and chase another one.
Okay, give me a vehicle check for me. Okay, 13. Not bad. You're making progress, but you
Mhm.
won't catch up to it on like your next turn. You'll still have to drive again
Understood.
for it. Whispers, same choice. Stick with this one or try to catch up to a second.
I would like to try to catch up to a second.
Okay, let's get a vehicle roll.
I will re-roll that. All right, cool.
Okay, very good. 17 will let you catch up to get at max distance from another worm currently. So you'll be in that 30 to 40 foot range for a shot. Zol, if you'd like the Pegasus bonus, give me a perception check from them.
Jesus, it's getting stronger.
24 is good. Okay, that'll be just a plus d20
Yep.
plus 6. Okay.
Oh,
And
it's lower than it's 9. It's only
9. Okay. 9. The javelin soars out. This worm dives suddenly, unexpectedly, and the javelin just lands in the snow nearby. Okay. Have you guys just up a little bit to represent that? Actually, I'll put you a little higher. That makes sense. Okay. Rainier, same choice. Stick with the worm that you currently have or try to catch another one.
And Durham and Zal have moved on, right?
Yeah, they are moving ahead to try to shoot at one of the another worm to pull it off the pod. So currently, you are the only sled tracking this worm.
Okay, I think it would make sense to stay with the one we've already started it down. And
Okay.
yeah.
I'll need a driving check.
Come on. Okay.
18.
There we
Yeah.
go.
You guys' checks for driving have been very good. Okay, cool. How close do you want to be to the worm you're chasing?
Let's bring it up to a 10 for this one.
Okay, 10 is dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, Laylis, you'll have a +2 bonus on your shot here. 16 will still hit with the javelin.
Nice.
Ooh.
Javelin strikes in. Oh yeah, this thing, your hook catches another huge chunk of ice. It bounces and flings into the air, dragging along with the second ice cube here. And you can see the worm is getting like pulled even more to the left-hand side as it's trying to dive. And every time it dives, you see it's not able to go fully under anymore. So now it's kind of riding on the surface. And again, the The ground is vibrating. There's occasional screeches from these creatures as you're moving along. Okay.
When it starts screeching, or you talking about I call them the horse things. I know that's not what they're called. The snow,
Loper.
The snow
snow
loper.
lopers. I keep wanting to say leopards, and it throws me off. Okay, but the snow lopers, are the ones making the screeching noise?
No, the worms are making like screeching noises.
Oh, okay. Because either way, when they do it, Layla's is gonna start screeching out with it, with like
Okay.
the stupid intimidation thing and like shaking a fist at it.
I
You're gonna
like
go
I
full
like that.
Ahab. Nice.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I love that. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull you guys back just to indicate you're with that other worm. Okay, Durham, you'll need a good vehicle roll to catch up to the worm on this round.
I will
Four-
use an
14.
inspiration to try and improve that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, a 14. A 14 will get you there. But you are going to be at that 30 to 40 foot range, having caught up to it. Ember, if we can get a javelin shot from you, just the +5.
Okay.
20 is going to do it. Hell yeah. The second worm, first javelin in. Okay, doesn't pull anything up or hook anything to slow the worm, but the javelin is in place. Okay, whispers. Okay, and how close do you want
Have
to
a
be to
bardic
this worm?
inspiration if you feel like it. I don't know if we need it, but
22 is a fantastic roll. What range do you want to put the sled in? Real close, real far, right in the middle?
I just realized I was muted. Can I turn back to Zal and see what he thinks?
all the way.
All right, let's do 10.
Hey, pulling in the 10, you can feel the sled unstable on the churn of the snow. The loper's having a difficult time keeping its feet. You can see it's amazingly able to, it's almost dancing a bit as it's going, but it's having a very tricky time of it currently. But you will get the +2 bonus for being that close. Okay.
Eh,
14 from the Pegasus will still hit the threshold, so you'll have a +3 bonus on your javelin shot.
okay. Oh well, I rolled it with. Wait, why did I? Oh,
Will be it'd be
index
+5 on
plus
top of
5
it.
plus yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So at 23, yeah,
yeah.
that'll definitely go in.
I forgot to retarget myself.
Okay, this hook catches a large chunk of debris and has begun to slow down slow this particular worm. Excellent.
Bardic inspiration 2 whispers. We're running low on those resources, but it's been worth it so far. Steady
Okay.
on.
Okay. Rainier, what is your sled's current distance to a worm right now?
10.
10. Okay. Your the DC to hit is higher for your vehicle proficiency at this. So a low roll is bad.
Worse. Got it.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
worse. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Fuck. I got
Okay.
no inspiration. So
Okay. 10 is this close and this unstable ground. 10, the snow lopers that are running with you, one of their legs dips into the churn, and there's just nothing solid underneath as it's just moving too much. And they begin to like sink in, and your like the right hand side of the sled begins to dip into the churn and begin bouncing around. Can I get dexterity saving throws from you and Laylis?
I was swapping headsets right when you said that. Can you get a what?
A dex saving throw.
Dang.
Yay. Sorry, Laylis.
Watch it be the one. Oh no. That's ability check. Wrong way. Okay. Wait. Yeah, dex saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh,
dex
sorry.
saving.
Wrong button. And it's at.
Okay. Rainier, you make it.
Oh,
No, no.
Rainier, you make it. Laylis, you get impacted with a bunch of fucking rock and snow that's been in this churn. You are gonna take 6 points of bludgeoning damage,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll have disadvantage on your shots until the situation is resolved. But you can make a shot because you didn't get flung off the off the sled. So you can make your shot. You get a +2, but you're at disadvantage.
Okay, 1 second. Let me refill the water real quick.
Yeah.
All right, here, child. Quit yelling at me. Yelling at me.
Father, I'm just so thirsty. This flying.
All right, so we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do it again. So 17. However, I would like to. I should have asked this a second ago. What I was gonna ask, following like the Pegasus thing, but this time using Basar's amazing charisma. Have it follow along with the screech thing and fly like annoyingly around it, just yelling at it with like hopefully very good roars.
Okay. It sounds like Basar is attempting to intimidate these creatures. So
Yes.
let me get an intimidation check from Basar.
He is not. It's 1 per head. Thank you. R.
Okay. He won't give you the extra bonus, but 17, even at a disadvantage, 17 hits with the javelin.
Okay.
Okay.
Rar. He goes up there and he just like makes a.
Okay. That hook does not catch anything, but this worm, it's easier to pace and it is slower. Your difficulty is that you're just close to it currently, and the churn is disrupting the sled's ability to maintain a safe thing. The next vehicle you'll make, Rainier, will also be a disadvantage from this. Okay, Durham.
Yeah, let's go. I will try and get within 20 feet.
Okay, you're able to get within 20 feet for Ember Prime to shoot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll. Ooh.
Okay, a 12 slams into the side, but doesn't break the carapace, unfortunately. Whispers. You are 10 feet, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me get.
Yeah. I was gonna say during this time I was gonna back up to 20 though. I don't know if that changes the VC or whatever, but
Well, you're currently at 10, so you're gonna roll with
Okay.
disadvantage
Roll.
on your drive check.
oh, okay, cool. I will use the bardic inspiration for that.
D10.
Mhm. 20.
Okay, those inspirations, Zal, you're able to just shout and kind of pull him and the reins at the same time.
I got long
and-
limbs.
I'm listening to two people right now. Give me a break.
Okay,
You're doing great. Wrong mask.
you're able to pull yourself to 20 feet. Zal, go ahead and I assume you're going to do the Pegasus thing, so go ahead and see if they can roll. God, your Pegasus, sharp eyes. Cool. So that'll get you the +3 on top of the 5.
So it's plus.
Oh,
is it
sorry.
plus two, right?
It's +2. Yeah, I'm sorry. +2.
+7 total.
Okay.
I don't have any inspiration.
Okay. 11 bounces
Yeah.
off the carapace. Okay. Rainier. Let's get a vehicle check with disadvantage.
Ooh.
I have
You
no
can use one of
inspiration.
mine. You can use one of mine.
Oh, that's very nice.
We're not doing a 1. Not today.
Oh, Christ.
One.
Okay.
The sled goes sliding and we tumble and roll 4 barrel rolls.
Okay. And for a moment, one of the rock ice chunks slams into each other and one bounces into the air. You see its shadow like about to slam on top of you all, and you're able to kind of jerk the sled just out of the way as it hits the churn, but also bounces your sled. So I'll
God.
need another dexterity saving throw from you and Laylis.
Can you roll mine for me? I'm
I sure
outside
can.
because I was getting yelled at.
No problem.
As we're getting jostled again, I'll just try to shout over the noise at Laylis. Sorry, kid.
That's a
It's like it's still
21 from
Yes.
Laylis. Okay.
Yes. He's like,
Okay.
it's still a smoother ride than Bazaar sometimes.
Hell yeah. With your 20, Rainier, you're the 21 from Laylis, you're still bouncing in that churn. It is a true miracle that both you and Laylis are still on this thing, and the snow lopers have not tumbled over as well. A
Yes.
testament to their weird feet as they are moving through all this.
Right.
Okay, Laylis, you will be able to. You're currently stuck in that 10-foot danger zone.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Laylis, you'll have disadvantage on the shot, but a +2 for the distance.
Okay, so with this one, he's gonna like look at Bazaar and be like, all right, this time do it again. He's gonna like gesture towards like inhaling to build up his lungs. He's like, all right, do it again, but put some oomph into it. And he's gonna ask him to go try it again and just get in this thing's face and start screeching again.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Before the shot.
Right. Yeah. You want to use your animal companion. I got you. Yeah. Let's. You're still outside though, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will roll
Come on,
Bazaar's
children.
intimidation. It is a 4.
Yeah, boy, we moving up one by one, okay? The next one's gonna be a 5.
Okay.
He's like, you know what? That was a little bit deeper than last time. We're working on it. And then when he says that, he's gonna pull the trigger for the shot, and if you don't mind.
No problem. Okay. I need my +7. Okay, that's a 14. Which 14 on this one? Because it's been slowed so much, that 14 is actually going to impact it, because this worm is actually getting real knocked about by you guys. And catches. A chunk of rock gets pulled up. There's multiple weights dragging around this worm. This worm is coming to a slowdown right now. You have hit the threshold needed to bring one worm down.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
More intensified battle screeching with rapid fist shakes towards like Durham and everybody else.
Mhm.
Okay. Durham. What is your current distance to your
20
worm?
feet.
What's your worm distance? 20? Okay, cool. We'll get a driving check from you.
Sean, sometimes you use the word situation, and for a brief second, I thought you were going to say, "What's your worm situation?"
What's your worm situation? What's your worm sitch, bro? 18 is quite good to maneuver these things. Do you want to stay your current distance? Do you want to change it?
Let's live dangerously. Let's try and pull within 10 feet.
Get in
Okay.
there.
Pulling within 10 feet. Okay, Ember Prime.
Yo.
It's the cart is bound. The sled is bouncing more, but this shot is a normal one because you're moved into 10 feet on this particular turn. So you'll get your +2 bonus.
On top of the normal +5.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you've moved in close.
Get it. 22.
22 hits. Okay, an anchor catches. That is 2 anchors on the second worm. It has begun to slow down a little bit as well. And you guys are like traveling varying speeds of anywhere from sometimes 30 jumping up to 60, and in between as well. As the worm speeds up, slows down, your sled speed up and slow down. Incredible. Okay, Whispers. What's your current distance?
20.
We are
20. Okay.
And
25
we're
is
maintaining
excellent.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perception. Fuck me.
24 is good. Okay.
Okay.
You'll get a +3 total.
Plus.
Go.
Hey.
Big hit. And another weight catches on top as well. This worm begins to slow down.
Is shooting one of these ballista like an action?
Yeah, it's essentially
Yeah.
your action that you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
In continuing Zal's rampant cheating, spikes of the Zephyr. Time to go faster and throw another one.
Okay, I
It
will
will
allow it
not
for
get-
sure.
It will not get the Pegasus because that is only for the first.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Oh,
yeah.
it goes to 6.
That's a very good use of your legs. I like that.
Cheating.
20 hits. We
I'm
love
over
a
here
good cheat.
cheating.
We love a good cheat.
Zal just moves weirdly fast. It's those fucking long arms.
Okay. That does not anchor in, unfortunately. Okay. Very good.
It was a
though.
misfire.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking like, why'd he shoot twice?
That is a very clever use of your legs. I've
been waiting. I've been prioritizing bardic inspiration up till now.
Okay. Okay. Your worm is slowing, but your turn is starting still in the churn, Rainier. So I'll need a vehicle check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yo, it's still good.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got this thing figured out now. You
I got
pull
it. It's not like a
yourself.
horse.
You pull the sled out of the churn, and you can feel the ride begin to smooth a bit, and the footsteps of the lopers become more steady. Hell yeah! Do you want? What position do you want to? Actually, you've hit the threshold to bring the worm to a slow. This is you getting out of the danger space right now. The worm won't slow like it doesn't come to an immediate stop, right? It is basically you've exhausted it, right? And it is like no longer diving. It is on the surface, pushing through, but clearly this thing just has to you just have to run it down, and it will stop on it eventually. However, it brings you to a point where you are close. You have gotten you guys out of safety, but Laylis, you are at a point where shooting the javelins, which you only have 2 or 3 left, as best you can guess, or sorry, as best you can see. You are close enough that if you would wish, you can begin firing upon the creature. The javelins, their purpose is not to do damage to kill the creature, right? Their purpose is to hook and slow.
Yes.
And that has been achieved. So, would you like to fire on the creature or do something different?
Oh no, he will. He will take the opportunity to be the first one.
Okay, cool. Do you need me to make those rolls for you?
Yes, please. I'm walking back up the stairs now.
No problem.
Would like to redo the bizarre thing. He's like, all right, this time that's our 3rd try. You're getting better, but please, you can do this. It's not that scary.
Yeah,
Be
I'll
angry.
let Basar give you a bonus on your hit if he rolls. That's a nat 20 for a 19 from
Hey.
Basar.
Father, I am not afraid of
Sorry.
its teeth, Father. I am not even as scared at all, Father.
Holy. Basar's 3 heads screech in unity. It is unbelievable how strong this bellow is coming out of this creature.
Yes.
It sounds like it should be coming from a much larger dragon. Incredible. Okay, that will give I will definitely give you the +1 on your bow attack from that. Okay, attack. Situational bonus 1. Okay, that hits the worm. Okay, damage applied.
Nice.
That
Actually,
also
stop.
hits the worm. Okay. Some fast bolts slamming in, cracking open. You manage to hit a portion that has several javelins nearby, and a whole chunk of the carapace there has been cracked off, hits the snow, and flings backwards. You can see just exposed flesh underneath of it. Incredible. Okay, Durham. What's your current distance again?
10 feet.
Okay, you'll have disadvantage on your driving check. Okay, if I can get, you're still stuck in that 10-foot zone. If I can get a dexterity saving throw from you and Ember Prime.
Dexterity saving throws are good.
Nat 20 from Durham. Okay. Oh. Okay.
I got nothing.
All right.
Would you like my inspiration?
Sure.
Seems like a good time to put that to use.
Okay, 16 will do it. You're in the 10-foot range. Ember, you're gonna have disadvantage on the shot, but you are getting a +2 on top of it, so it's +7 at disadvantage.
Advantage 20 plus 7.
Okay.
2 nat 20s. Why did that not roll disadvantage?
I don't know, but you can just roll again.
So it's the 14.
The 14. Okay. The 14 will bounce off the carapace of this creature here. But you are not, the both of you are not flung off of your sled. Okay, Whispers, there's 2 weights on this worm. Let's get a driving check from you. What's your distance? What's your worm distance?
20.
20. Okay.
Where-
All right, cool. You're able to maintain. You want to stay where you are or move?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see
Okay.
there's Pegasus. Oh my
It's
god.
it's dialed it in now.
Yeah.
We've got a the mental communication's never been more sound. He said right before he failed the roll.
Oh,
Okay.
that is a solid hit. Okay. That is another weight on this worm. This worm is also, you've reached the threshold to bring it down and slowed as well. Because both worms have been slowed here, for your worm, actually because of, yeah, okay, cool. The worm Durham and Whispers is chasing comes to a stop grinding into the snow and ice. Its body kind of heaving with its breath and movements. The worm that Rainier and Laylis were giving chase to actually slams into a piece of rock in the ground and just comes to a stop, and you see its body fold and the what's under the ground come up and out, and this thing is like 20 feet long as its back end gets pulled out of the ground, carrying its momentum, flips the beast and slams into the snow, shooting snow and debris around the area. Your Loper, Rainier, you're able to guide it round to the worm. Durham and Whispers, you guys are about 200 feet ahead at this point as your worm has slowed down. You look around and you can see the main pod is still driving ahead. They've managed to pull off two elder worms off the pod far to the right. They're like maybe 1,000, 2,000 feet your separation now between the 2 hunting groups, and the main pod being driven. And you can see the one sled that's been driving the pod is starting to like pull off towards the right, seeing that like 4 worms have been caught. This is the other sleds are, there's no more people to hunt basically. So they're beginning to slow and try to make a turnaround to reach you all. Incredible. We essentially have team 1 with Rainier and then team 2 with Durham and Whispers. What is team 1 doing now that your worm is crashed into a rock?
That is a very good question.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily know an answer for that. Yeah, no, how do I put it? If it's just crashed, I don't know. Rainier, I need help.
Mhm.
I don't know what to do with this thing necessarily.
I mean, can we see other hunters still, like on the horizon?
Again, your distance is like a few thousand feet separated. Your your groupings and their groupings, right? You pulled to the left, they pulled to the right, and these are the distances you guys have rusted. So your particular, like your team, is not near the other hunters. You can see far towards your left hand side, like further left, you can see the left hand scout sled is currently maneuvering at the moment. But you know, you all are here, and it's just you guys and these worms. Team 2 is a few hundred feet away from you with their worm.
I think we might as well wait, because it's not like we can move this fucking thing.
Okay, you bring
We
your
can go over to the others, but I think it's worth waiting. What do you think, Laylis?
Okay. Yeah. He's riding like an adrenaline high right now.
Okay.
So he's like, how do I put it? I want to say distracted, but he's like more like in shock that like we just did this, even though we told them we would. But they made us do it their way and not our like traditional kill it.
Okay, if that's the case, then I will note that you are high energy and recommend that maybe we just hang out here for for the rest of the team to catch up or to be finished.
Okay, very good. You bring your sled to a close, excited in the from the action that has occurred, um, but are currently just holding pattern. What is Team 2 doing? Durham and Whispers. What is Team 2 doing?
Is
All
Durham is
four
with
of you are
Ember
Team
Pride.
2.
Okay,
Yeah. It's just Team 2. Team 1, Team 2.
gotcha.
I'll send the Pegasus out to find the lead and to like guide them in. Basically, just, like fly in front of them and
You can go
the
with
scouts, I should say.
You want the Pegasus to head towards the scout on the dog sled far to the left?
Yeah, just to because they'll probably be able to see us with the worm, but it's gonna be hard to like triangulate, right? Like it's still ways away, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean they don't hunt with you, so their job is to be far away. So yeah, if you want to send your Pegasus towards them, you're welcome
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Just to like fly in front of them and guide them in.
Okay, cool. The Pegasus starts flying out in their direction. Anything else from Team 2?
more waiting.
Okay.
Is the worm like thrashing around, or is it once
It's
it's
still
slowed, does it realize
it,
like, oh, I can't go anywhere?
it's still very much alive.
Mhm.
The worm from Team 1 that impacted a rock and flipped is not doing so good.
Okay.
That one is not doing well. Your worm is still alive, having like basically been run to exhaustion. You can see again its body is heaving. It's not currently doing anything, but neither are you guys. So
We have to kill it. Is that a part of the deal?
I don't know how you're gonna
Like
harvest
yourself.
anything if it's you know.
Yeah, Durham will look for any area where the hardened shell has fallen or broken away.
Um, there are cracks in the shell, but with everything that's going on your side of it, not enough is like cracked a huge chunk off of it.
Okay.
So this thing, its carapace is still in place, but there's certainly cracks where the javelins have impacted it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess at this point, Durham would suggest moving the snow loafers a little further away, just in case this thing starts to thrash, and point the javelin guns that we've been using at it, to see if it gets any more life back in it, and if so, that's when we should probably shoot it.
Okay, so you're gonna point your javelin gun at it,
Mhm.
but that's it.
Yeah, unless anybody's got a better idea. I think it's
Oh.
it's unclear to me whether or not this thing is in the process of dying, right? In which case, I'd be concerned that if we shoot it, it's going to get a jolt of adrenaline and try and bolt again, right? In which case, the best
Mhm.
thing to do would just be sit here and let nature take its course, right?
Mhm.
Or is it just taking a breath and taking a minute to compose itself? I
Yeah.
don't know which. So it seems to me the best thing to do is be prepared, but wait.
Okay, cool. So you aim the 2 javelin shooters at it, preparing for anything from it to do. Okay, cool. Um, uh, the worm from Team 1 is dying. It is fully dying at the moment.
Yay.
The worm from Team 2, waiting for it to do something, it does do something. As it's heaving and heaving, you you hear a sound coming from it. It sounds like a death bellow, right? A last gasp coming from it. But it is quite a loud screech that peels out, and then its body kind of slumps a little bit.
Oh.
Zol, your Pegasus, what is it? Hold on, I need to look at the Pegasus.
Very
Okay.
fast. It's the only thing
Uh,
fast enough to keep up with these fucking things.
yeah, very fast, but I was actually looking at its languages. Okay.
Can't
Um,
speak.
Can't speak, but does understand several languages. Okay. Uh, your Pegasus, it's maybe only a few, maybe several moments after the worm is stilled, and the Pegasus is just soaring towards this scout. The mental connection from your Pegasus activates, and it's basically like sending you the mental sounds that it's hearing, and then sends you like a like warning, right? Like a warning near me. And as you look towards where it's in the sky, and the dog sled is coming, at this range, I think Durham, I think, who has passive perception that's like 18 or higher?
Me.
Not your
Yeah,
boy.
Durham does.
Durham does. Ember Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
I'm trying to find the passive. I don't notice where it's at on this new sheet.
Pegasus
yet.
is only 16.
Your they actually
It's
the
10?
passive, yeah, they right next to perception where it says +5, it has a 15, and that's the passive on it.
Okay. Sorry.
Actually, you know what? We'll say anybody with a 15 or higher.
Yo.
So it's definitely Durham and Ember. Laylis. Does Rainier have a high passive
No.
perception? Okay. What
No
about
one's
Zol?
read my mind.
Yeah. What about Zol and Whispers?
Nope.
I'm at a 14. The Pegasus will, but I won't.
Okay. So Durham, Ember, and Laylis. you're getting warnings from the Pegasus. The three of you hear. It's the extreme distance that you can make sounds out. You're hearing the scout rider shouting, and they're shouting a word. Durham and Ember, you both hear the word. They're shouting Igramar. I'm sorry. It's not Igramar. I'm so sorry. They're not shouting Igramar. The word that they're I'm sorry. It's funny to me. You guys don't know, but it's funny to me. What they're shouting, the word that you catch them shouting is they're shouting run as loud as they can. Run! Run! And you see the snow swell up underneath them, and a gigantic maw open and just swallow them as it soars up into the air. Your Pegasus barely avoids this maw. It is like high enough to almost hit your Pegasus. As this worm body reaches its apex, it's like 30-40 feet high in its leap before slamming down, and its tail is still not showing as it's moving and moving, and suddenly the tail appears. This thing's probably like 80 to 90 feet in length. And you can tell, even at this distance, it's way bigger than these juveniles. Slams into the ground, your sled shake, the snow lopers start moving their feet around, and you just see the ground swelling in your direction. This, we can end combat there. This beast that you see soar out of the sky, soar out of the ground, looks like this. Crashes up. Huge armor plates covered in spikes and frost, a purple-lined body, massive three split jaw. This thing is coming in your direction. And we will pick up next session there with what your response is to it.